The Switch 2 is dead, man. Y'all gotta stop defending this platform, man. We just found out that Tomodachi is still coming out on the Switch 1. Y'all ain't got no exclusives. All your games is available on the Switch 1, bro. And you know what's crazy? They got Pokemon Poketopia, whatever the hell that game is. And that game is a game key card. Oh no. Oh, you Nintendo fanboys ain't gonna like this live stream, man. I'm telling you, man. The Nintendo Switch 2 is nothing but an utter joke. I am ready to clown every single one of you Nintendrones coming in this chat, bruh. The Switch 2 is garbage. I can't believe after seeing what 2026 is gonna be like for Nintendo, it's embarrassing. I can't believe it, man. I go on and I'm like, oh wow, Tomodachi? Really? That's coming to Switch 1? What is the reason for me to spend $500 on a system if I could play it on the previous one? And what's even worse about this situation, you got Nintendo out here throwing out the same games, charging $70 to $80. Super Mario Party Jerome, we still got physical media. The only reason as to why you still got physical media, right, is because a lot of the games that you buying already had Switch 1 equivalents. Switch 1 versions of Kirby, Breath of the Wild, Tears of Kingdom. I mean, it's getting Mario Party, Jerumbo. It is getting pointless, man. The Switch 2 is starting to rear its near head, and I don't like it, man. I'm so happy I didn't buy one. I'm so happy, bro. You Switch 2 fanboy, it's about physical media. Nintendo would never do it. They literally did it with Pokemon Poketopia. Look it up. That game's a game key card. Where's the player essence? Where's the Harmon Smiths? Where you guys at? Where y'all at? Oh, they nowhere to be found, huh? Talking about how Nintendo's releasing a game as a game key card. Oh, they don't own Pokemon now all of a sudden? Yeah, I thought so. Gamester with another dub. I told you, even Nintendo will start weeding out the physical cartridges. Y'all didn't want to believe me. Told y'all so. Let's go. Where the Nintendo fanboys out? We calling all y'all out today. Let's go. We've had enough. We've had enough. Yo, what's up, Blue? What's up with everybody, man? These Nintendo dudes are wildin'. They are wildin', man. Pokemon Poketopia, that's on a game key card, bro. The game ain't even on a cartridge, bruh. It ain't even on the cartridge. And you got Nintendo fanboys damage. It's Nintendo's very own game. And it ain't on a cartridge? And they want to still keep defending this lousy ass unit? $500 for this lousy ass Switch? It's ridiculous, man. Look it up. Pokemon Poketopia. Game key card. Straight out of Nintendo's headquarters. Where's AGN when you need them? I thought Nintendo was against that. I thought they were for physical media. I thought it was only third party that was doing it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So much for those lies. Unbelievable how Nintendo gets a pass all because, oh, the system's so well though. But you know what? This ain't hitting no 100 mil. This is not hitting no 100 mil, no matter how many games they got coming out on the Switch 2. But that's not the point, Dustin. The point is, Nintendo made it a game key card. There was no reason for them to do that. Nintendo's own intellectual property? You told me Nintendo would never do that. Yo, what's up, Ruthless? Yeah, no problem, bro. Thank you. I appreciate that, Ruthless. You told me Nintendo would never do that for none of their games. So I don't want to hear these excuses. At the end of the day, Nintendo's dropping a Pokemon game, regardless if you don't like it or not, on a game key card. And the game don't even look like it can't even fit on the cartridge. I'm sick and tired of this capping, man. Nintendo fanboys, Malcolm, they capping so hard over this crap. Oh, but it's, you know, Tomodachi Life coming out on Switch 1. Y'all ain't got no games. I don't need a Switch 2. Besides Bonanza, Mario Kart World, and Kirby Air Riders, what else is there to play? I'm sick and tired. Oh, but they just starting off the year, you know. Nintendo gotta get the... Well, they clearly not showing me. No, it is not dishonest. It's the truth. What are you talking about, man? Nintendo even came out and said we're losing money on every single Switch 2 sale. That's not me saying that. That's Nintendo. They said that they lose money on every time the Switch 2 sold. They're not making that money back with the games, and they're not even making that money back with the subscriptions, because you know why? Because the ones that bought the Switch 2 happen to be the Nintendo fanboys. You guys bought it in droves, and guess what? People ain't feeling it. That's what I'm telling you, man. Y'all don't want to read the room. That's not a lie. That's the truth. Nintendo literally came out and said that, bro. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Dustin? I can provide you with the article. Nintendo literally said we lose money on every single Switch 2. That's why the RAM shortages is a problem. What are you talking about, bro? This is why everybody's complaining about the price increase of the next consoles. What are you talking about? You're in denial. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. You can even find videos. There's videos in the community. What are you talking about? They lost money on Switch 2s. I've already talked about that. Matter of fact, I've already discussed this like months ago. Duskblood more likely is going to run like crap. You guys don't even have good cross-gen games. Your games are still capped at 30 FPS. I don't care about how well the Switch 2 sold. See, stop acting like a freaking pony. What about the games? Stop. Nobody cares. It doesn't matter. Because regardless of how well it sold, the manufacturing fees of how much it costs to make the said console is costing Nintendo more money in the back end. You're stupid. This is why people laugh at you, fanboys. I'm sorry. This is why people laugh at you. Because you know why? You're saying, well, it's sold. But that doesn't take into consideration how much the Switch 2 costs to manufacture. You dumbo. The Switch 2 costs more to make than when it's sold. What are you talking about? Nintendo is taking a loss on the hardware. They're taking the... Oh, no, we getting Nintendo fanboys today. Oh, no, we getting them. We getting them. They don't want to take... And this is what I'm saying. They don't want to take that into consideration. It costs more to make the Switch 2 than what they're selling it for. So, therefore, Nintendo is getting losses on every Switch 2 sold. I'm not being ignorant. You're being ignorant. You're being ignorant. Several YouTubers, I've discussed it, I think, months ago. People have already knew this. What are you talking about? Fertong have also talked about it. What do you mean? So Pokemon Poketopia is not on the game keycard. That's not on the game keycard. Look it up. Look it up. So I'm lying? I'm literally... You're saying that I'm lying, but you have no proof to prove that where I'm lying. All you want to do is say, oh, but it's so good. Okay, yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that. I didn't say it didn't sell good, but that doesn't take away the manufacturing fees of how much it costs to make the Switch 2, you dummy. What do you people don't understand? It costs more money to manufacture the console than when they sold it. That's what you're not understanding. So when they sell it, yes, it sold 15, 18 mil. Okay, but guess what? Nintendo lost money when they made it. Oh my goodness, bro. This guy, man. But I'm lying, though. I'm lying. This has been like this since the beginning of console gaming. They sell the console at a loss. They make the money back with the software and the subscriptions. It's been like this since the NES, bro. I think the only one that's ignorant is you. Bro, what are you talking about? PlayStation make more money than Nintendo. And PlayStation don't even gotta do nothing. All they gotta do is sit off on 30% and subscription services. That's all Sony gotta do. Sony's making more money than Nintendo. You're stupid if you think that. Sony's making way more money than Nintendo. That's facts. Y'all don't even got the same games, bro. Y'all ain't getting no Onimusha. Y'all ain't getting no GTA 6. Y'all ain't getting no... Yo, you're not even getting a game from Game Freak, for crying out loud. You Switch 2 fanboys need to be humbled, man. You gotta understand, I'm the fanboy destroyer. I don't care what box you represented. You come here with ignorance, I'm gonna violate you. Easy. You're gonna get humbled. You better, you don't know who I am. I'm not a fan of nothing. If you told me to bash Xbox like I told you, I didn't like that direct. I didn't change my opinions on the direct that I seen from Xbox. I kept it 100. I was like, I didn't like it. And I'm entitled to that. I don't have to like it. But I will put things in objective truth. Like, yeah, they did show games. I'm not going to sit there and completely bash it. They did. Forza. What was it? What was the other game? Fable. Look, I already forgot. All right, Fable. Yes, those are some household names. So I'm not going to sit there and say that it ain't better than what PlayStation's doing. It is. Because it's still games. But in regards to, you know, rocking my socks, it ain't doing that. I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, yeah, you know, that Xbox showcase, that completely, you know, it made my jaw drop. No. I'm just doing too much. I've already proved it. What are you talking, bro? If I prove, you know what's funny, Dustin? And I like you a lot, bro. But if I prove this, I'm literally timing you out of the chat. I'm literally going to time you out of the chat if I prove it. But I got you. I'm going to prove it right now. You better hope I don't prove it. Got you. Got you. Because you want to sit there and argue about stupid stuff. Because you're a Nintendo fanboy, bro. Watch, I got you. And we'll show it to the chat. Hold on. You just want to be ignorant, bro. People are getting tired of you. Look, it says it right here. I even typed it on Google. It says yes. We're not even going to get... Nah, you're done. You're done. You've already been bodied. We didn't even get into the articles. We didn't even get into the metrics, and you've already lost. It says right here on AI overview. Wait, this ain't it. This is not what's going to time you out. I got the real proof. It says right here. Yes, Nintendo Switch sales experienced a significant slowdown through the crucial year and declining original Switch launch period. US down 35%. 35%. 35% compared to the original Switch back in November in 2017. You just got bodied. You literally just got bodied. Now we're going to get into the article. Hold on. Now we got to get into the article. That's not what I'm going to time y'all for. Look, right here. 1 month ago, Nintendo loses $14 billion due to memory shortage fears. Look at that. Right here. Right here. You just got bodied. $14 billion. Nintendo just like, you can even find Smash JT made a video. Matter of fact, a lot of people made videos. Matter of fact, let's go. You can look this up while I'm talking. Right? Nintendo lost $14 billion. You know, because you was in my video. You're getting timed out for that. $14 billion. Look at it. Everybody's talking about it. Look. $14 billion due to the memory chip shortages. Look, right here. Right here. You just lost, bro. You literally just lost the argument. Nintendo loses $14 billion in valve as memory shortages. Nintendo loses $14 billion value due to memory shortage. Nintendo sheds $14 billion value after chip squeeze. Look at this. Look up what I'm saying. Look up what I'm saying. You just got destroyed, bro. You just got destroyed. Matter of fact, I ain't timing you out. I'm not timing. I want to hear what you got to say about this. Go ahead. Let's hear it. Now you've got bodied. What is your excuse now? Content creators have talked about it. Articles have talked about it. Now, Malcolm, he's getting eviscerated. I'm tired of fanboys, bro. I'm tired of them. Always bet on black. So what is it? Because I was going to time you out, but I want to hear what you got to say. Because you said I was wrong. I don't like being falsely accused. You said I was wrong. No, you lost because you don't know what you're reading. You're not educated. What are you talking? I'm reading it right here, bro. Look it up. Look it up. Look it up. No, 14 billion, bro. Not 14. Yo, he's lying. Now you lying. Nah, Dustin, I have respect for you, but you ain't. Nah, you lying, bro. Now the man's lying. 14. It says right here, 14 billion. Oh, yo, bro, you had me with, bro. Nah, you just being ignorant just to be ignorant, bro. Right here, lost 14 billion. They lost 14 million. Oh my goodness, bro. You know what, bro? We done. I'm not listening to this. I'm not listening. So they're wrong then. They're wrong. So they're wrong. So they're wrong. But didn't I tell you they lost money? So they did lose money. You said I was wrong. You said I wasn't right. You said I was wrong. I said Nintendo lost money. Regardless if it's 14 million, 14 billion, or $14, Nintendo lost it. Therefore, I was right. I was right. I said Nintendo lost money on the Switch 2. Didn't I say that off every sale? You said I was lying. Regardless if it's 14 trillion, 14 billion, whatever excuse, even 1400, it don't matter. Nintendo lost money. What did you... Bro, out here Nintendo fanboy, man. Why are you doing this? Why is he doing this? You said, man, let me pin, I'm going to pin your comment. Because you said I was wrong. You said I was wrong. And clearly I was right. All right, let me pin that comment. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Because you said I was wrong. That's what you said. Hold on. I'm going to pin that so everybody else can see. Now you admit that they lost. So they lost something, right? Said you don't want to agree with that. Oh, my goodness, Dustin. Okay, fair enough. But I ain't wrong that Pokemon Poketopia is a game key card. I ain't wrong about that. I'm not wrong that Tomodachi Life is dropping on Switch 1, which means that there's no reason for a Switch 2. I'm not wrong about that, am I? Am I wrong about that? Am I wrong that I don't need a Switch 2 to play Tomodachi Life? Am I wrong that I don't need a Switch 2 to play Poketopia? Matter of fact, am I also wrong that the game's a game key card, even though it's being distributed by Nintendo themselves? Am I wrong about that? Because you want to say that you want to point fingers and tell everybody else they're wrong, but yet you ain't got your facts straight. Like this guy, he's literally lying. I can't believe this. Yo, this guy is so, bro, it literally said due to the chip shortages. What do they use the chips for? That's right, the hardware. The hardware, that's where the chips is going. Oh my goodness, bro. Oh my goodness, bro. He's always been on black and Mexican. Yo, what is this man doing? Why are you trying so hard to lie? That's my whole thing. I'm not educated, bro. You told me they didn't lose money. Didn't you not? Like I've said, even if it's $14, that's still a loss. It doesn't matter. You said they didn't lose anything. That's what you said. To go as far to say, oh yeah, they lost 14 million, not 14 billion. That's what you said. You're flip-flopping already, dude. You're flip-flopping, man. You're flip-flopping, man. Nobody cares for your Switch 2, man. Nobody's playing no games on it. Mario Kart World did well because it was bundled. Bonanza's at what, 3 million sales? Like, come on, man. He don't want to hear this, Brian. He don't want to hear it, though. Apparently, Nintendo can do no wrong to this man. Even with Pokemon being on the game keycard, he's like, I don't like Pokemon. It doesn't matter. Bro, everybody's talking about how Nintendo lost 14 billion. And you even admitted that they lost 14 billion. I don't have to research up anything. You admitted that they lost something. You admitted that Nintendo lost something. So therefore, I don't have to prove anything. I've already proved it. This is crazy, man. This is corporate slaving, man. All this for Nintendo, bro. I knew it, man. I knew it. Exactly what? That you're a Nintendo fanboy? And you really think the Switch 2 is gonna eclipse 100 million sales, bro? It's not. It is not. Nobody cares about the Switch 2. The only ones that bought it was the fanboys. And you know it. People are playing they Switch 1 comfortably. Because Nintendo just ain't got the games this year. I mean, really? Tomodachi, a 3DS game? I mean, come on, bro. Pokemon Poketopia? Y'all ain't got no games. What you talking about? No GTA 6? No Fable? Y'all don't got nothing, bro. I hope Microsoft start porting some games for y'all, man. Y'all be lucky if you get Doom Dark Ages. Y'all ain't got enough. The Switch 2 got no games, bro. Switch 2 ain't got no games, man. Nothing. PlayStation 5 might not got very money coming from their own in-house studios, but they got Microsoft at least putting games for them. They got good third-party games that Switch 2 will never get. I think they getting WWE. They getting WWE Ruthless. No Battlefield though. Y'all ain't getting no Battlefield 6. Y'all ain't got no Arc Raiders. Y'all ain't got nothing. Switch 2 barely got, don't even got Power World. Y'all don't got none of the popular games. But we got exclusives though. But we got exclusives. I mean, yeah, the individual's opinion is that they prefer those games over your exclusives. That's the opinion of all these individuals. Switch 2 got no games, bro. I was looking at the list. I'm like, yo, this is what Nintendo got coming out in 2026. A bunch of Switch 2 additions to Switch 1 games I've already owned. It's ridiculous, bro. You need to admit that the Switch 2 is in my opinion garbage. It is straight trash, bro. Straight trash. Every game that I can play on Switch 2, I can play on my Switch 1 besides 3 exclusives. I mean, y'all ain't got no third party. Your online sucks. I mean, he said it looked like an N64 game. They don't want to admit this, man. They don't want to admit it. They don't want to. And some games don't say it, but guess what? Not all games get an update either. It's worse than the Pro. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Yo, listen, I am not trying to disrespect Nintendo. I played Borderlands, right? The game is capped at 30 on Switch 2. Xenoverse 2 is capped at 30 on Switch 2. Sparkin is capped at 30 on Switch 2. Y'all paying for an upgrade and you're playing games with the same frame rate as old gen? Oh, but it got better graphic though. It look a little shiny. Oh yeah. You're playing, yo. Oh, they not patch. Oh, they're not patching the game though. They're not patching. They're not patching the game though. That's third party fault, bruh. You got third party putting patches and updates for these new consoles. Yeah, it's literally an upgrade Switch 1, bro. I'm sorry, man. Y'all got skedaddled with that. Y'all got played, bro. Y'all got literally played. At the end of the year, bro. Yeah, you'll have better just as many games than any other company. Guarantee it. Me? I'm not guaranteeing that. Nintendo's already started off bad. People buy Nintendo. The system. Yeah, they bought the system initially. But that's just because of the hype of the Switch 1, though. That don't mean the hype can't die down. That don't mean the hype can't die down. I guarantee it. Oh, here we go. So how much you think it's going to sell then? Since you guarantee, how much you think it's going to sell? Because I don't think it's getting over 100 million, man. I don't think it's getting over 100 mil. I don't think it's getting over 100 mil. I don't. Not with no price drop. There's got to be some real significant changes with Nintendo Switch 2. I feel like if they drop the price and they do a few things, the library's not enough. The libraries, I'm telling you, it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. It's not gonna outsell the Switch 1, bro. Definitely not. Definitely not. Especially in today's gaming demographic of people playing more free-to-plays and stuff like that. I highly doubt it. I swear, didn't I just see somebody? This man really got faith in the Switch 2, man. You gotta remember, when the Switch 2 came out, there weren't no competing handhelds. When the Switch 2 came out, it came out at a time where people was looking forward to it for the 3DS. Okay? That was a successor to the 3DS. That's why people like the Switch 2. The problem is with the Switch 2, it doesn't do that much to define itself. You think it's gonna be Switch 1? You think, bro? I will put a wager. It would never be Switch 1. Never! Bro, I will bet freaking all my damn PlayStations. It will never be Switch 1. Never! I might have to wait a while. Oh, okay. Alright. I'm just saying, they ain't never beating out Switch 1. But you think it's getting close. I don't think it's going to be close. I feel like the Switch 2 can only be... I think it's going to sell Xbox One. I know it sounds crazy. It's probably going to be around that 40, 50 mil. Maybe 60. I don't think... I mean, unless we see a price drop or something of that nature, then I could see it going higher. Yo, what's up, Simmons? I can't see the Switch 2 selling 100 mil this time, man. It has to be the best-selling system ever. I don't know. I don't think it's going to do PS2 numbers. I don't think it's going to do... I think it's going to do Xbox One numbers. 40, 50,000. 40, 50,000. I'm sorry, bro. But that's dependent on a price drop, and that's dependent on what Nintendo's doing. If they're selling their system at $500 the way they doing, with game key cards, lack of games, lack of third party, because you got to remember, when the Switch 1 came out, that's not good. Yo, tell me the hot take, Simmons. I got you. Yeah, why can't you be like my man Simmons, Dustin? He's a Nintendo fan, and he ain't like you, though. He's a Nintendo fan. No, I didn't say the Switch 1. I knew the Switch 1 was going to be a success. I knew it. You know, all right, and I'm going to explain to you as to why I knew that. All right, hold on. Let me go find a spot real quick. Hold on. I'm going to explain to you the other dude. I got you, though. Yeah, you're right, though. A lot of people said it was going to flop. I knew it wasn't going to flop, and I'm going to touch up on that, just so y'all know. Hold on, real quick. Okay, real quick. All right, let me read the comment in its entirety, and I got you. Great bum. He said, you haters were saying the same thing with Switch 1. It's a flop. It's going to flop. And look. Now, you're right. Some people did say that. Now, me, I didn't say that. I'm gonna explain. I'm going to give you reasons as to why the Switch 1 was successful. The Switch 1 was a success because it was a huge, let's not forget, guys, a huge improvement over the 3DS. It was a huge improvement. Going from 3DS to the Switch 1 was a huge improvement. Then you're telling fans that they could put it on the TV. On top of the fact is, it was also priced at $299. On top of the fact, I know I keep saying that. On top of the fact, right? It was just another portable. Switch 1 was just another portable. It was like the successor of the 3DS, right? And on top of that, free online from the jump, even though they didn't have virtual consoles. It did start off a little slow with a few Wii U ports, but a lot of these people didn't play these Wii U games. So that's why when they bought the Switch 1, they had no problem with a lot of the ports that I played on the Wii U. You feel what I'm saying? And let's also take in consideration that they got a lot of third-party games that were also available on other consoles. Fortnite was big. It was also on there. All the games that these companies was getting on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch 1 did get versions. Dying Light, they got a lot of versions. You get what I'm saying? So the Switch 1 was still able to get versions of the games of its current market. The Switch 2, on the other hand, is not. Switch 2 is not getting games in its current market. And you know this. Y'all like, damn, Gabe said, that's a good point. When the Switch 1 came out, it was getting current games of the market. You're not getting that with Switch 2, though. Yeah, exactly, it did. You're right, Zero Sam. It got Fortnite, it got Rogue Company, it got all the most of the free-to-plays, and all that. Switch 2 is not getting Arc Raiders. Switch 2 is not getting a lot of the games that the Switch 1 had at the time of its release. It's not. Yes, we are this year. Oh, my goodness. Bro, Switch 2 in third party sucks. Switch 2 third party is trash. Straight trash. Switch 2 third party is garbage. Switch 1 had better third party. It had Sonic Forces. It had all those games. Well, I think y'all got Generations. I mean, it's a remaster, I guess. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of the new games at the time of when it came out. Switch 2 going into this market, y'all are not really getting anything besides the games that was already there, though. Third party direct next week. And it better be good. It better be good. Because I'm telling y'all, Sonic Switch 1 ports are trash. Yeah, they were pretty bad, though. I have them. Patience. Dustin, I understand that you got a lot of faith with this system, man. I mean, you paid $500 for it, so I would expect that. But also, too, Switch 1 had physical media. Even collectors liked it. Collectors loved it. You know, it even got Doom 2016 at the time. It was like a year, was it like a year before or whatever? It's like they got it in 2017. That was impressive to a lot of people, especially on a handheld of the Switch. Y'all not getting these type of games on Switch 2, man. Y'all not getting them. And if you do, you're getting them through a game key card. Of course, you was getting them through a game key card. Switch 1 didn't have that problem. Collectors alike loved it. He says, I know no one's going to agree, but I'm speaking from experience here. I noticed the Switch 2 games. Okay, let me see. Hold on, I want to read the whole comment. I noticed this thing have the charm like the N64 from first party standpoint, third party ass though. You're right. That's a good argument. Simmons, you're right. You're absolutely right. Nintendo's back to the mindset it's either get in or get out. You're right. The Switch 2, to me, I agree with what you're saying. It's prompted as how the N64 was. It has good software. It really does. It has good Nintendo software, but the third party is very lackluster. Now, mind you, they're getting it luckily due to a lot of the Switch 1 games that are still getting ported over to it. But in regards to a lot of the newer titles that it's not getting them. You get what I'm saying? Like, y'all remember when N64 wasn't getting a lot of the modern titles that were dropping on PlayStation 1? That's kind of what's going on here with Switch 2. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, see, that's why I like Simmons, man. He's a Nintendo fan, but he's a Nintendo fan that I respect because I know what he's talking about. Dustin, I like you too. I like everybody. But sometimes you be fanboying, man. You be fanboying. You literally be fanboying, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I call out all fanboys, man. I don't care if they represent Xbox. Okay, let's look at it. All right, let's break it down. Let's break it down. Let's break it down, Dustin. Right? Let's break it down. Now, I know some people say you can't use the Wii U games for the argument for the Switch 1, but I'm going to explain to you as to why you can. Because a lot of 3DS owners didn't play Breath of Wild. They didn't play those games. Mario Kart 8. And I hated it. I hated it. When I got a Switch 1, I'm like, bro, all these nothing but Wii U ports. Donkey Kong, Tropical Freeze, which they were. But guess what? To the ones that have been playing on 3DS, they're like, oh, this is amazing. They was playing Donkey Kong Returns on the 3DS. They see a sequel, Tropical Freeze on the Switch, on the Switch 1. They're like, oh, this is a huge improvement. Oh, Mario Kart 8 over 7? Because remember, 7 started on the 3DS, right? So when they seen 8, even though it was already available on the Wii U, they never had a Wii U. So they're like, oh, wow, this is a huge improvement. Over 8, over 7. So the 3DS is the reason why the Switch is very popular. Because it was the successor. Just like how the Switch 2 is a successor, I'm sorry, of the Switch 1. It was the successor. But the problem is, though, I think the Switch 2 doesn't do enough to differentiate itself from the Switch 1. It just doesn't. Which also I know, right? You caught that, Malcolm. I said that all types of messed up, right? Successor. Successor. Like, oh, man. That's what I said, right? So, the problem is with the Switch 2, they need a price drop. It needs to go back to $300. $300. I'm sorry. Let people choose their game. If it goes down to $300, Switch 2 will do well. Okay. But see, my problem is, though, Nintendo. I'm going to explain the problem what Nintendo's dealing with right now, because I don't think you're seeing it. See, the problem is, right? Nintendo subscribers can't grow. Oh, hold on. Nintendo subscribers can't grow because the ones that have upgraded from Switch 1, they was already getting that money from those people. So they just took their membership. Oh, hold on. Whoa. They just took their membership to the other platform. Second of all, most people are not really buying the Switch games. I can't count Mario Kart World. It was bundled. I can't count a bundled in game. Now, with Donkey Kong Bonanza, that sold like what? Close to 4 million, right? 4 million? That's pretty good. 4 million. But is it enough for Nintendo that's taking losses on their hardware? I don't know. I don't think so. So their subscriber count hasn't gone up, right? They might want to raise the price of their subscription. I could see Nintendo doing. I think Nintendo's going to raise the price. Did it do 4 million digitally? I thought it was 4 million altogether, though. I don't know if it was just digitally, though. Was it just digitally? Because, you know, I can still access the Switch 2 No, but I don't know, Dustin. I thought it was just 4 million. I thought it was 4 million altogether, though. But are these some updated sales? That's probably what I looked at a month ago. So it could have went up since then. I can't deny that. So Bonanza was a success, of course it was. I mean, even if it sold at 2 million, it would have been a success. I think and Nintendo can't afford to drop the system down, so they can't because it costs more money to make the system than what they sell it. I don't know. Nintendo's kind of caught in a bad situation. Because Nintendo's trying to expand, but they're having a hard time doing that because even though people are buying the games, they're not getting that much money in return unless they sold the system at a loss. Yeah, but they do charge you $50 for it. Yeah, they did. I mean, technically, yeah, and it was a digital copy, not a physical. But I still don't count that as like a software sale because it's like it comes with the system. Oh, really? Okay, so that game... I just want to play my game so I don't keep... Got you. Switch 2 is not being sold. I'm just thinking, I don't know how Nintendo... I honestly, a price cut can't happen because of the chip shortages, right? It just can't. The Switch 2 just costs too much money to manufacture. It just is. Actually, the Nintendo fans should be spending more money on it. It is being sold at a loss, bro. You even admitted it. Even though you don't want to agree to 14 billion, it is being sold at a loss, bro. It is. Even with the 5, you gotta understand that Switch 2 was expensive to make, bro. You don't think it's expensive? I'm gonna explain why. See, you guys, I'm gonna explain this real quick. Console gaming is expensive to manufacture. Do you understand that? Listen, they give you 2 Joy-Cons, right? With the technology. Because you see, you're not understanding. Let's break this down. Because you should be spending more money on that Switch 2. And I think this is something you're not realizing. Right? You got the power under the hood. You got the chipset. You got the controller. You got a dock. Okay? You got to... Alright, you know what? Alright, let's do this. Let's do this real quick. Alright? We're going to buy these things separately. Okay? We're going to buy these things separately. Right? And you're going to see how much this stuff costs. Then you have to ask yourself, damn, hold on. They kind of giving me a lot, though. They giving me a dock that does 4K upscale. They giving me, what else they giving me? They even giving me a damn game that I paid $50 extra for. They probably took a little loss on that. The Joy-Cons with the new technology that they have probably should. I mean, I think those Joy-Cons are like, what, $100, right? That's expensive, bro. We didn't even get into the chips, the RAM. We didn't even get into the hardware yet. HDMI cord, they give you all the cord, power cord, all that costs money. Because you see wrong, man. I'm not seeing it wrong. These consoles cost more money to make than you think, bro. Understand, they're not making that money like you think off the hardware, bro. You get what I'm saying? I had to tell these Xbox dudes, I'm like, bro, you paying at the time, you're paying $500 for a 12 terabyte system? And you out here saying, oh yeah, that Microsoft's making money off that? No, they're not. That's 12, bro. Listen, you guys gotta understand. I'm gonna explain it in Xbox terms. At the time, it was $500 for an Xbox Series X. Disk drive, a 1 terabyte memory of SSD, because on its own, it's like close to $200. A controller, HDMI cord, power cable, control. Bro, you don't think it costs more money to make the system than what they selling it for? I'm telling you, it is. And the screen, the 1080p 120 screen, bro, come on, man. Come on, man. And the technology they added with the Switch 2, yes, technically speaking, the system is worth the $500. It probably cost them more to make it. You think that they took that money and made it like, oh, okay, they only spent $300 and I don't know, bro. That system cost a lot of money to make, man. It did. Because he said, I love my Switch, but everything you say, I actually agree with. I appreciate that, though, Ron Simmons. I know you do, and I don't hate the Switch 2 like that. It's just for a conversation piece. But yeah, gaming is getting way too expensive. Companies no longer want to liquidate the hardware. This is what they're complaining about because they're not getting the money off the back end anymore. Microsoft is getting tired of it. They were giving out Series X as a call at $299. Exactly. I don't feel bad if people didn't buy one at that. But I agree, bro. Facts. And I'm saying, and that's what I'm saying. They were selling it for $299. You don't think they losing money on that? Exactly, Brian. Thank you. They think they're not losing money on that. They think, oh, no, they're not losing money. That's all profit. No, how is it profit? You have to, you know what? I'm going to explain it, right? Let me explain this, all right? These people are looking at it like, okay, well, I'm buying a pizza. Okay, I'm going to use a pizza analogy for this example. They think that because they paid for a pizza, that the resources, the sauce, the cheese, the pepperoni, whatever they added, they want the toppings. Why do you think you got to pay for toppings? Oh, no, I shouldn't pay for the toppings. Sir, that's what adds up the value. I need to make a profit. Oh, no, Domino's. You said it's $6-7 pizza, and I want like 7 toppings on. Sir, that is resources. That is money coming out of the business. If you want more toppings, you got to pay. You got to pay for the toppings, bro. Like, these people are out here thinking, oh, we can get unlimited toppings and nobody's losing money. Bro, if an establishment did that, they'd be losing money. They would be losing money if he sold you a pizza with 8 toppings on it for $20. He would lose money. Less pepperoni, less cheese, less sauce, less toppings for the next person. Thank you. I appreciate that, Simmons. Since Nintendo's losing. Yeah, they losing money, though. They're losing money, man. That's what I'm trying to tell, dude. They losing money on Xboxes and PlayStation. You know why PlayStation is making money? The subscription, bro. I've told y'all this. It's not the games. I'm gonna tell you. All right, you know what? I'm gonna break it down for everybody because I don't want people thinking I'm just attacking Nintendo. Microsoft and Sony, because it's the same structure. They're not making money off the games like you think. Microsoft, I'm gonna tell you, their breadwinner is Game Pass and 30% off the third party. Nintendo's not getting that, bro. Sony, you said, oh, Nintendo's doing better than PlayStation. Well, I have to clap back. No, they're not, bro, because PlayStation is making 30% off every third party game on the platform, on top of the fact that people pay Sony to play their games online. We didn't even get in, and in the games, if you add the games, that's just an additive bonus. But in reality, PlayStation and Xbox are only afloat because of a subscription service. I'm telling you. You think I'm wrong there, Dustin? That's facts. That's the reason why Microsoft and Sony are in business the way they are, because of the subscription service model. They're getting bank off these people. Bro, to have Game Pass for a whole year is like $360. That's like a whole console. No games. You don't need to buy no games. They're like, oh, snap, Game Pass Ultimate, man. Damn, we getting $360 a year. That's where all your video game money went. Them subscription fees, man. That's how Sony's making their bread. Not because they selling you exclusives. I mean, that could be a part of it, but it's not the biggest factor. That's why Sony's like, we don't need to do nothing. That's why Sony's like, we don't need to do anything. We just collect 30% off all these third-party games, and we'll just make money off subscription. That's the reason why Sony's been lazy. That's why when you're like, Sony don't make games no more, that's the reason why. They don't need to. Sony don't need to make games. Because the hustle that they got going on, they're like, oh, people paying us 30% to get that VC on 2K. They paying us money to play 2K online. That's the answer, bro. That is the answer. I can guarantee you if these consoles had free online, it'd be a wrap for all of them. He says, yeah, GameStop. The only thing I see, theme park and movie. Oh, yeah, and the movies is helping Nintendo. Oh, yeah. If I'm wrong. No, you ain't lying about that. Nintendo's been making bank off the movies, though. That's why we keep seeing these Mario films. Oh yeah, Nintendo, man, they trying to be bigger than any. I think they're doing it for exposure while also making money at the same time because it is a good exposure. Because you know what it is? All right, you know what? Yo, Simmons, this is why I know Simmons gonna be like, I love you for this, man, because you know what I know, right? I'm gonna say this to you, Simmons. You know why Nintendo's doing it? And I'm gonna say this to everybody. Nintendo is, yeah, Sega's doing it too. You know why Nintendo's doing the movie thing? Because they need the new generation of kids to love Nintendo the way we did. Y'all like, nah, GameStop, that don't make sense. Yes, it does. Because who likes those movies? Those kids, man. Dumb kids, they love those movies. Who loves those movies? The family, the kids. What do you think they do when they leave the movie theater? Mommy, I want Mario Bro Wonder. Mommy, I want the new Mario Party. Mommy. Exactly, because you can't push Nintendo on us no more, but they gotta push it on the youth. They gotta push it on the young gen, because the young generation, they didn't grow up the way we did. So Nintendo has to find a way to get into these kids' heart, and that's through these family movies. Let's go. Gamester with another W. I'm the best when it comes to breaking things down. I'm the best. And what do parents do? They get nostalgic. Oh, you like Mario? I liked it when I was a kid too. Yeah, I want to buy a Switch too. Mommy, I want Pokemon now. I'm not a kid. Yeah, a lot of adults liked it too, but great. They know you exist already, is what I'm saying. Nintendo's trying to expand on that market because, let's say, like Dustin, they know Nintendo knows you exist, bro. Nintendo ain't trying to appeal to you. They're trying to appeal to the ones that didn't grow up with Nintendo. You think when Nintendo does things, they're trying to appeal to me, Simmons, and you as actual Nintendo fans? No, they need to grow a new audience. And that is their way of doing it while also making a good check. It only makes sense. Because Nintendo, yo, think about it. Nintendo weren't making movies like this during the Wii. I mean, they've done it back then with the NES. Think about it. Nintendo only... You know what's crazy, though? Yo, Simmons, check this. Nintendo did this every time they wanted to get a leadway in the gaming. They did it during the NES, Super Nintendo... Oh, my goodness. I think I just broke something down. Nintendo did this at a time... Because remember, they weren't doing all this with GameCube and the Wii and the DS's and all that. No, they started doing it with our generation, with the Mario Bros. Movie... Remember, because that was new. They needed to get an audience. Now they're doing it with our kids. That's how they doing it now. They're trying to get to that market because they know that and it's worse now because the new generation, all they're doing is growing up with Fortnite. So it's harder now. Back then it was easier for Nintendo to get our dollars, but now it's a little harder because Fortnite has been taken over. So Nintendo has to keep the Nintendo alive in their hearts. He's on beefing with King David. What's going on with King David? The Wizard movie. The Wizard movie. Yeah. I mean, yeah, so even Sega too with the Sonic the Hedgehog. They're doing the same thing. He said 93 Mario Bros. Movie was peak. Yeah. Nintendo was building on that. They were building on that. This is a good discussion. Yeah, like they were building on that because if you actually think about it, Nintendo needed to cater because remember, we was young during that time. You know what I'm saying? We was all kids, well, some kids and stuff. So now they got to cater to our kids. He's one of the worst console. King David? Yeah, I heard about that dude. I did hear about him. He's an Xbox guy, right? King David? I think I seen him. A brother, he got the glasses and stuff like that. What did he say? What happened with him, though? I didn't think he was a bad guy, though. I appreciate that, Ruthless. That's the whole idea. Yeah, that's the whole idea. That's why I do the titles, so I can, you know, even if it leads to an argument, I like the conversation. I didn't like what Dustin was fanboying, but it's cool though. He wants to say it's 14 million lost. That's fine. He can say that, but I'm sticking with 14 billion because that's what I've seen. Oh snap! Oh, Tom actually found a player. That's rare in this game. Oh, he's driving? I'm gonna follow him though. Yeah. Yeah, that's what's up, Ruthless. You know, it's crazy because this new market that we live in, I digress. I'm not saying it's bad, but he's quick to attack and say no PlayStation. No, PlayStation 6 is coming out. It's coming out. PlayStation 6, you're hearing it from me. It's coming out. No PlayStation 6. He's going to defend Microsoft. No, PlayStation 6 exists. It's coming out, bro. I don't... Listen. People have to understand, right? And Microsoft has said it time and time again. They're not trying to out-console Sony. That would only be negative for Microsoft. If Microsoft out-consoled Sony, which a lot of people say they're capable, they are very capable of doing that, that would mean less money to Microsoft, which will completely destroy the strategy of what they're doing with Play Anywhere. Microsoft doesn't want to do that. That's only going to make it easier for people like Google to get into gaming if Sony and Nintendo did not exist. Microsoft is gatekeeping the bigger entities out with the pockets. They're like, oh no, we getting Activision. So essentially they're gatekeeping. Nintendo and Sony are gatekeeping the way where they're still bringing out quality games for their audience, while Microsoft is also trying to expand on it. It makes no sense. Yeah, PlayStation 6 is coming. And exactly, I don't know why people say no PlayStation 6. Disagreeing isn't fanboying. I mean, Dustin, you told me, you said I lied though. That's what I'm saying. That's why I had you said I lied. You said that Nintendo didn't lose money on the Switches, and then you went as far to say, oh yeah, Nintendo lost 14 million, but it wasn't billion. Okay, regardless, they still lost money, according to you. So even if it's $14, that still would mean that I was right. You do know that. Exactly. Yep. So Microsoft and Sony, they really, and Nintendo, they're gatekeeping the industry so that these other entities don't come in and buy up everything and make gaming far worse than when we see it. You know what I mean? So, like I said, when people complain that Microsoft was bidding on Activision, I mean, you got to remember, they were bidding on these companies, which means that other people would have acquired them. Yep. Xbox gamers are going to eat good with that platform, for sure. Were they fair? He said, I wish Nintendo... No, maybe we just disagree. He said, you know what? I want to see Nintendo expand. I do. They're going to do it with mobile. They're going to do it with mobile. Me and Simmons, we've talked about that. Nintendo's most definitely going to do that for mobile. And I think, what's that new Pokemon game they got coming out? Pokemon, not Coliseum. What is it called, guys? You probably know. The new Pokemon game they got, that's going to be mobile and Switch too. That's gonna be the tester right there. And I think Nintendo's been doing that with the Pokemon Go and all. Yeah, Champion. There you go, Champions. Yeah, that's and you know what, bro? It's only gonna make sense for a game like that. Pokemon should be available on every mobile device that they can put it on. You gotta remember, Nintendo is waiting for their breakthrough. And you know what? They're waiting for their breakthrough. They're waiting for it. They're waiting for that breakthrough. And I'm telling you, man, Nintendo has a backup plan. Microsoft has a backup plan. The only company that don't have a backup plan is Sony. That's the only thing, man. Sony don't have a backup plan. And that's what's bad for them. That is what's bad. And with Microsoft expanding and Microsoft doing this PC Play Anywhere strategy, that's only going to help benefit Xbox gamers. They're going to have more incentive value, and maybe over time, PlayStation gamers might shift towards that. They're like, well, I don't really like the exclusives, but I do play them here in time and here, but I don't really like them like that. So that's why I tell ponies, the more you guys keep buying these Xbox games, the more and more danger PlayStation will have in the foreseeable future. Because, like I said, once PlayStation loses that identity of people now buying their platform for their own games, it's just another Xbox at this point. But yeah, Zelda, I don't know if Nintendo will put Zelda on other platforms. I mean, I think they'll start off light. I think what we might see, Nintendo might put some of their arcade archives on PlayStation and Xbox. I've always told people that will probably be one of the first starters. They're going to focus heavily on mobile and what is it? Mobile and their portable devices for now. That's their main market, because mobile is the biggest market for them. Well, it's the biggest market in general. That's why Microsoft's focusing on cloud. So that is what they want to do first. And if they want to expand the PlayStation, they probably start with the arcade archives, like the NES Mario or arcade Donkey Kong. That would be a smart move, at least early on, right? So for Nintendo, if they want to start off a little light to kind of test things out. I mean, they've already put Fatal Frame on consoles, on Xbox and PlayStation. Have they been recently doing like Nintendo? Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, you know what? Yo, Simmons, that's a good one. You're right. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. Nintendo's been focused on a lot of applications, like apps. Like, you're right. And the funny thing is about that, right? Why would Nintendo call it that? Why would Nintendo have apps that is very similar to what you would do on a what? On a damn phone. Nintendo, I'm telling you, bro, if Nintendo didn't, and they're waiting, they're just waiting for the right time. If Nintendo goes phones, it's done. I don't even know if Microsoft can control that market. It's going to be done. Microsoft is mostly focusing on the PC. I mean, they're going to focus on everything. That's just Microsoft, who they are. But Nintendo, they're going to have a huge market share in mobile. They're going to be the next Candy Crushes, man. The only reason why they haven't got to that level because they ain't put their games there yet. But the day they do, it's going to be some serious trouble, man. Nintendo's going to control the mobile market like crazy. That's when. But Nintendo's waiting for the right time. So they're just trying to make as much money with the Switch 2, whatever new consoles they can come out with. Milk it until as much as they can, and then when they're ready, they're going to push that mobile. They're going to push mobile. Xbox is going to be Play Anywhere. And Sony, they're going to try to do it, but they're going to be a little too late to the party. You know, that's why people say Microsoft and Nintendo is playing chess, and Sony's playing checkers. Sony is playing checkers right now. That's what they're playing. And I think that's why Kick David said, "Oh well, Sony's dead. No PlayStation 6." No, Sony gonna definitely do a PlayStation 6 because they make a lot of money off third party. It's just when the third party. See, this is where it's dangerous. The third party is the dangerous part. We're gonna have to see going into next gen, right? But if Microsoft makes a platform and they have the best third party, that might kill Sony. I don't think it's going to kill the PlayStation 6 initially. Nah, it's not like that. It's still going to come out. But I'm saying it's going to kill any future hype that PlayStation gets in the foreseeable future. It's going to kill a lot of hype unless they continue backwards compatibility. If I'm Sony right now and I see what Xbox is doing, this is what I'll be doing. This is what I plan out. This can save Sony. I'll be like, yo, man, but the problem is they would have to make a premium product. Sony don't want to make a premium product. That's a problem. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm saying that, yeah, maybe they can make a PlayStation 6 that plays all PlayStation games, but then the problem is I don't know if Sony wants to invest in emulation to that degree. Microsoft will, but not Sony. They don't want to invest that money. And they don't want to make a premium console cost more than an Xbox. But backwards compatibility most definitely could save Sony. If they say, hey, if you buy a PlayStation 6, you get a PS1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, that would make PlayStation fans, automatically jump to that. Automatically. Right? That will definitely help them. That is their trump card. But the problem is with that, it's the money though. Sony don't want to spend that type of money for the emulation because you got to invest in that. You know what I'm saying? And they have to go further to PS1, 2, and 3, and I think that's why they've been remaking a lot of those games for PlayStation 5 and 6. Well, PlayStation 5, I'm sorry, because they have no other way of bringing it back. So that's probably why they say, oh, well, okay, we'll just bring some of these PS2 games as classics and then call it a day. So Sony's doing it, but they're just doing it lazy. Yeah. Yep. I don't know. I think it's going to be very hard to emulate that cell processor, so that's why Sony don't even bother. You know what I'm saying? So Microsoft, luckily for them, they use x86. Microsoft has been using x86 since the original Xbox. Yep. So Microsoft, when they do that, when they make their new console, PC, whatever, anything can be backwards compatible. That's why they have the best backwards compatibility, because it all uses x86. Sony only started doing it with PlayStation 4. That's when Sony started doing x86 hardware, during PlayStation 4. So that's why the PS5 is backwards compatible with that platform, because of x86 hardware that they've used. But now,
But that's the problem, though. People don't really care about. If you tell me, oh well, the PlayStation 6 is good because you can play PS4 and 5, I'm like, I'll just rather stick to my 5 and 4 then. I don't. It's not gonna work a second time.
Oh, really? That would, you know what, Simmons? I got a few ways to save PlayStation. Backwards compatibility through emulation, similar to what we get with Xbox, or I would say port some games. Put Ape Escape. You gotta push those games now. Put Ape Escape. I'm gonna tell you something. Sony's market is really Nintendo's market, right? While Nintendo's going to be making the pushes towards mobile, Sony needs to go in and capitalize on the Nintendo Switch market. Hey man, put the Sly Cooper there. Put the Jak and Daxter. Dumb Nintendo fanboys will eat that up. Nintendo fanboys love nostalgia. They do. Xbox, not as much, because they're very PS5 and Xbox gamers are very similar. But I'm saying Sony got to get to it. They gotta get to it. Put like Jak and Daxter, Ape Escape game, like kind of like what they doing with Patapon and Tumba and all that. You gotta capitalize now, because if you wait too long, it might be too late. They gotta capitalize on that. Sony gotta capitalize, putting those classics on Nintendo Switch. Sony's market is Nintendo. That's their market, Nintendo, because Sony cannot come up with their own portable. They just can't. They just can't. Who knows? Yeah, on the Switch, because Nintendo fans love nostalgia. Some people were saying, though, right, that the next PlayStation might be similar to what the Switch is doing. But the only issue is it might be more powerful than the Switch. At least that's what I heard, right? There's a few possibilities that Sony would do that, but then they're gonna lose. But the reason why I know Sony won't go through with it fully, because they're gonna lose access to a lot of third party, and Sony don't want to lose that. So they're gonna stick to home console. Because a lot of people speculated that the new PlayStation 6 is gonna be a portable plus a home console, which does sound good on paper. But then the problem is, if they did that, they're gonna lose access to a lot of third party games, which would only go to PC and Xbox, right? So that's the problem. It's just because people said that. I've heard that, but I don't think they're gonna go through with it, Simmons. If anything, if Sony was smart, use an existing market that's already available, which is Switch 1 to Switch 2, and start putting your classic games over there. Start doing that. Scython Filter. I mean, they could even start on Xbox. Start putting those damn old games on their platform. Who cares if they play it? Who cares? And you know what you can say? Hey, our audience, you get this through our free through PlayStation Plus. You know what I mean? If you're a PlayStation Plus premium member, you get these games for free. But we're gonna put these games on Xbox to where we sell them. They will make money. They would make money. They gotta capitalize on that Switch market, man. That Switch market is Sony's saving grace. That is their saving grace, and Nintendo gamers are very nostalgic. They'll be like, "Oh, I never played Sly Cooper before. I'll play it on my Switch." I mean, that's what Nintendo fanboys did when Sonic Adventure went to the GameCube. They're like, "Oh, you know how many freaking Nintendo fanboys that I knew that picked up a GameCube and like, oh, I want to play Sonic Adventure now." I'm like, "But you didn't want to play it when I had it on my Dreamcast. Now all of a sudden you want to play it on the on the GameCube?" Man, these Nintendo fanboys be crazy. I had a friend that didn't even like Sonic Adventure, right? But then it dropped on GameCube, and he's like, "Oh, I'm buying this." I'm like, "What?" He literally bought it on GameCube. I'm like, "Bro, I literally had this game at my house, and every time he would come over, see me play Sonic Adventure, he didn't even, I guess he didn't like it. But then as soon as it popped up on GameCube with that GameCube version, oh, I'm gonna buy this. I'm gonna play this. What the? I'm saying that like, what the? Bruh, this man a fanboy, dog. I guess I was introduced early on. I'm like, this man's a freaking fan. Well, he was a child. This child's a damn fanboy, man. I was like, this child's a damn fanboy, bro. Like, what the? How you gonna see somebody play a Dreamcast game and then only want to play it when it's on the GameCube? I mean, I end up buying both of them. He said, yeah, they exactly, bro. That's what I'm saying, though. It's the same thing too, like with the Xbox, where they be like, oh well, these games are trash, but then as soon as they get it ported over, they're like, oh, I wanna play Gears of War now. Is it? Man, it's a game key card, Dustin. You bought it? You bought that game? Oh no, you different, Simmons. You different. Nah, you different. I'm saying with this guy, this kid I used to know, he didn't like it. Well, initially, at least that's what we thought. Cause I had it, and he's like, "Oh, I don't like that game." And then I'm like, as soon as the Dreamcast died, and the GameCube lived on, right? Yeah, he's young, yeah. And the GameCube came out. He bought Sonic Adventure. Was it DX? I'm like, bro, you told me this game sucks. They be doing this, man. They be doing this, though. I'm telling you, Sim. I'm like, yo, hold on. Now all of a sudden, this is a good game now? Just like the ponies. Oh, yeah, Fable's trash, man. You know, Starfield, that's garbage. Cerebon, we're proudly announced that Fable's coming to PlayStation 5 and Forza. Oh, those are some good games. And then you got people like MBG getting mad at Alex and stuff. What are you getting mad at Alex for? For calling your hypocrisy? He know damn well if those weren't no PlayStation 5 games, he'd be out here hating on Fable. He'd be out here hating on Forza. He'd be out here hating on all these games. But since it's on my precious PS5, now all of a sudden they good games. I think it was so. Okay, this is a good conversation, but they still need to start providing us with more. So you think it's gonna sell 80? I think it's gonna be around 50 to 60. I'm gonna keep it 100. I think 50, 60. But if you're saying 80, I think Nintendo's gonna have to do some significant things. We're gonna have to see a Switch 2 Lite. We're gonna have to see a price drop. We're gonna have to see the game. Well, the games are only gonna go up. It's like Nintendo don't even give a damn. We're gonna have to see Nintendo put out some more ambitious titles, because as of right now, these Switch 2 editions does not make me want to buy a Switch 2 anytime soon. They need to do enough to differentiate away from the Switch 1. The Switch 1 success is what's hurting the Switch 2. It's just like with Sega Genesis to the Saturn. The Sega Genesis popularity is actually what hurt the Sega Saturn, right? Now, mind you, it didn't work that way with the PlayStation 1 going to 2, luckily, but a lot of companies, you gotta break that. You know what I mean? It's just like the Wii going into the Wii U. They think because the Wii was successful that the Wii U would automatically be successful, and that didn't happen the way they did. Luckily, Nintendo has the hardware sales. They have the audience right now, and pretty early, I might add, but Nintendo needs to cash out. They need to cash out right now. And I don't know if they need to cash out on games. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and say that we need Nintendo to raise the price of the Switch 2 memberships, but I can see that coming. I can see Nintendo raising the price. I can see it. I don't know if you guys can see it. You got to remember, it's cheap. It's been $20 for a while. I can see Nintendo boosting it up to $25 a year or something like that. What do y'all think? $30 a year, and the expansion going up to like $60, $70, trying to force people into family plans. I can see Nintendo pushing that. I think it's about time. I mean, it's not worth it in my opinion, but I can see Nintendo increasing that membership to compensate for the losses. Yeah. I can see that. So I guarantee they're going to push that. That's probably why Nintendo's been focusing a lot on their subscription. Family Plan is already 80. Okay. So they might go up a little higher. So Family Plan might be 100, 120. Right? I can see it. I can see it because you know why? Because they need to compensate for those losses. So that will be a way. I mean, I'm not saying it's good for the gamers, because it's clearly not. But that's how these companies need to stay afloat. So that's what I can see Nintendo willingly doing. I mean, Sony raises the price of their subscription. Microsoft raises the price of their subscription. It only makes sense that Nintendo will do the same. Yeah, Nintendo's going to raise it. Because the games is not enough. Even though they're selling $80 versions of games, I don't think people are really buying those games like that. So Nintendo wants to obviously increase the subscriber count, but also save some money on the back end. Oh, I agree. Harvard Smith, yeah, he's ridiculous. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You pay for the whole year and it's cheap. And it's already cheap. So even if Nintendo said we're going to raise up the year to 30, people will still do it. I just think if it hits 50, that'd be a problem. Because I'm not paying 50 for this crap. But if it goes up like $10, I still see people paying for it, bro. I still see it. Which is only going to help increase the family plan up to 100. And then they're going to, a lot of people love the family plan. So they're going to bank off that. So I could see it happening. I don't know. My brain's telling me that Nintendo's going to raise it. They're going to raise it. And maybe $10. We'll just have to see how it turns out. I could just see it. This game needs to come to Game Pass. For real. See, games like this need to be on subscription service so more people can actually play the game. But yeah. $20 since the 3DS days too. Yeah, it's been like that for a while, so... For both, because I'm a hardcore. Yeah, most Nintendo fans and Sega fans, we very much alike. People ask me why they, what they tell me, Simmons, they're like, why you like Xbox? Because I'm like, it reminds me of Sega. You know what I mean? A lot of the visions that Microsoft has is the same vision that Sega has. So of course that's why I like Xbox. I like Sega, so therefore, and I like the vision that they had. So of course I like Xbox. It's just Xbox just has the money to be able to fulfill the vision that Sega could not. So, people have to realize Sega does not have that type of money. Only Microsoft can. Microsoft can afford to fail countless amount of. That's why PlayStation gamers hate Microsoft. Because they're like, man, you guys keep on failing. It's like a saying. It's like Lord Frieza. Sony's Lord Frieza, right? The white PS5 going against them Saiyans. And you Saiyans just won't die. You Saiyans. You goddamn Saiyans. You keep coming back now. And that's why that's why they don't like them. They're like ants. Microsoft is like cockroaches. That you just keep killing it. It just dies and then another cockroach come back. What the hell? What's going on here? Microsoft got 4 million cockroaches. How you gonna get rid of that? You can't get rid of not 4 million, 4 trillion cockroaches. We're gonna count their money as roaches. Microsoft got 4 trillion roaches. You can't exterminate that. Why won't you die, Xbox? Why won't you die, Xbox? He won't die. Just like cockroaches, they just multiply like Microsoft. I swear Microsoft is like the cockroach company. Oh, this guy. Oh, snap, he shoot me. Oh, no, that's a turret. He got a turret. Yeah, Microsoft, they're like cockroaches. 17 miles, that's a damn... Yeah, oh yeah, for PC? That's what I'm saying, man. With Xbox gamers, when they finally get to the Xbox PC, which is going to help them transition to PC gaming, they're going to love it. I had one guy tell me, right, brother, he's like, oh, well, if Xbox gamers do that, they're just going to go to Steam. I'm like, they can go to Steam. They can. But why? They won't. People's like, well, you don't think Xbox gamers will abandon Xbox? No, they won't. Because if they love Game Pass now, they're going to love it even more on the new Xbox. They might even reduce the price back to its original 20. Or, maybe raise it for both PC and Xbox. It depends, right? But they're going to love it more. They're going to support Game Pass more on the Xbox PC than they ever had. Because what they're going to do, they're going to support that and take the money. And you know why Steam loves it? See, people don't read the room. I read the room. Because people keep saying if Xbox gamers transition to Xbox PC, all they're going to do is go to Steam. Yes, they can have the option to go to Steam. But guess what? This is why Gabe and Microsoft, they have a good relationship. They're like, yo, listen. You know what I'm saying? My community get merged with your community, Gabe. Yeah, that's good. Matter of fact, when they buy games, you get a cut on it. Yeah, man, you know what? Hey, man, matter of fact, use Steam. Use Steam. Hey, let people on your platform, get more hardware sales. Yeah. Thank you for that, Gabe. Thank you for that. And in the meantime, want the Xbox audience, they could buy games off you too, bro. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, I bet Phil Spencer and Gabe Newell smoking cigars, Cuban cigars. Yeah, man. You know, we help each other out. You know what I'm saying? We help you, you help us. Yeah, and it's going to work out in their favor. Because Steam is getting profit by allowing Steam to be on the Xbox PC. And Microsoft is getting profit because their audience is not going to abandon Game Pass. They're going to stick to Game Pass. And they're going to take that additional money and buy games through Gabe. They all winning. Microsoft and him are laughing. We winning. You win. I win. We all win. They are Xbox gamers on PC buying games off your Steam, Gabe. Yeah, they are. You building up our communities with our games. Yeah, we are. And they saving money. We all winning. We all winning up in here. Oh yeah, they are, Marco. Yeah, we all winning over here. Yeah, exactly. They're still gonna boot up Xbox. You think, and you know how, and you know what's funny in television that you said that? Why would they abandon Xbox on PC for Steam if they gotta buy the games again? They're not gonna do that. They're gonna want access to their catalog of games that they've purchased. That is what they're gonna want. That's what Xbox gamers are gonna want. They're not going to abandon their catalog to use another operating system. They'll use it for games that they don't have, which is going to be on PlayStation exclusives. Matter of fact, it'll be cheaper to play Helldivers. Imagine I could go in this, bro. They're going to be... Imagine if I could use that. They're going to be using it for Helldivers too. It's going to be free on the new Xbox. That's why Sony sold it. That's why Sony's like, yo, sell this game now. Because they're going to be playing it for free through Steam. Sell it to the Xbox community. Let's make our money off Helldivers 2 right now. Right? Sony ain't stupid. They didn't want people to access it for free on Steam and then play the game for free. They're not stupid. They're not dumb. Sony gamer, I mean, you think PlayStation is stupid? They're like, nah, put Helldivers 2 on there so we can get the $40 cut before Xbox come out with that PC. You think Sony's dumb? Sony ain't dumb. They're not stupid. Oh, it was? Nah, that's not bad. $20 is not bad. That's not bad. I was laughing when I seen the Killzone skins on Xbox. I was laughing. It's cheaper. It is. And it's going to be cheaper on Xbox too. I even think Porter he got mad. He's like, you know what? It's cheaper. It's cheaper to play. I think, what did he say? It's cheaper to play Helldivers 2 on Xbox than your own platform. Sony, you're gonna have to do something about this. It's cheaper to play your game on a competing platform. Yo, I think he should have realized the console war is over and that Sony don't actually give a damn. Sony out here charging PlayStation ponies more money. They're gonna be the Apple of gaming, and that's what Sony's gonna be. I love this bunker area. This bunker area is so cool. Like, I love this area right here. I had to put a bed there. I love it. I'm gonna make that my base. Porta potty. Oh yeah. Listen, where am I actually on the map? Oh, right here. Look how big this map. This map is huge, bro. That's the reason why you can't find nobody in this game. Yo, he felt betrayed. He's like, yo, hold on, Sony. I'm giving you more money. He's paying up. He's paying more to be a pony than an airbox. He ain't playing. He's done. He's done. I don't think he cared no more, man. You know, back then with the PS4, he looked happy. He don't look happy no more. I can tell. You also know who don't look happy? Gamer23. He don't look happy no more, man. Matter of fact, somebody said I should touch up on his video that he made. Gamer23, man, he's not, none of these guys is happy, man. They just lying to themselves. You know, what it is that they know gaming is not the way it was, so they want to blame Microsoft for why gaming is, but you need to blame your own platform. Okay? Nintendo Switch 2 is trash because Nintendo's making it trash. You know what I mean? PlayStation 5 is trash because PlayStation is making it trash. I mean, Microsoft is a saving grace and stuff for right now, but They're the only ones really pumping out games. You know, they're just not doing nothing too remarkable, but they are pumping out games. You know, nobody's really trying to one up each other anymore, and I think that's why people say I love the console war. It was companies trying to one up, but I think when the fanboys, oh, you talking about when he go, how you feel about the new Mario Tennis Fever, man? I'm on what when it comes out. It looks good. I don't know how much is it, like 60, 70? You know, it does look good. You know what I'm saying? It does. I still think the 64 was one of my favorite ones when it came Mario Tennis. It looks good. You know what I mean? Next thing we're going to see him golfing. You know, they got to come up with all the first Mario's traveling the artists. Damn, 70 though. 70? And I know it's on the cartridge though. And it's an exclusive. I'm going to look at the game. Let me actually, matter of fact, let me go look at some gameplay though. Let me go look at it real quick. Hold on. Okay. 1 minute. Let me check it out. And I've heard about it. What is it called? Mario Tennis Fever? Oh, yeah. Here it is. Okay, I'm going to look at it right now. Oh, 3 days ago. Oh, I hate when they show the gameplay. Oh, you got like little things like, oh, that's pretty cool. Nintendo probably only cost $10,000 to make this game. They're going to walk out with millions. I'm looking at it right now. Hopefully the multiplayer is good. They got a nice lineup of characters. It looks good. But you know what though? I don't want to be this person. Y'all know me. I have to keep it 100. I think the game looks good. I really do, Simmons. But I don't know if you know what I'm going to say. They could have put that on Switch 1. That's what bothers me about Nintendo is that you sold us a console. Listen, I understand we're not back in the old days. I get that, but I am tired of looking at games that look like that could have been played on my Switch 1. I bought a Switch 2 because I want to see the bristles on my. I know it sounds weird. I'm just trolling, but I'm just kind of being real, right? I want to see the bristles on this man's mustache. I want to see the pimples on his damn forehead. Okay? I want to see something that make me go like, wow. Wow. I can see Princess Peach's dimples. Oh. I can see the hair on Mario's armpits. I don't know. I don't know. But like I said, I want to see that. You feel me? And it's just like the only ones doing that is third party with Shadows. The third party's doing it. Game Key Cards, they're doing it. But Nintendo ain't doing it. Nintendo is giving us Switch 1 equivalent level style of games, and I'm tired of it. I want to see like a Switch 2 that just looks like a game that just from Nintendo specifically that looks far better than anything that they made. You feel me? That's what I want to see. I want to see the real Nintendo Revolution. Yeah, exactly. I want to see that. Because I feel like we haven't got that with Switch. I got you. That's fair, though. Yeah. And I think it's a good game. I think it looks good. But like, even Kirby Air Riders look good. But I keep asking myself, Simmons, like, damn, can this really play on my Switch 1? I know it can, because I see Metroid Prime 4, and that game looks gorgeous on Switch 1. I actually have it. So it's like, I want to see Switch 2. I don't want to see third party. I want to see Nintendo push the graphics of that console. I want to see it. You get what I'm saying? I want to see that. Because that right there, if I could see I don't know, I'm just saying, like a next-gen looking Mario game, you know, like something like that just blows my. I mean, I would say the closest was Bonanza. Donkey Kong Bonanza. Yeah, I want to see that jump. Thank you. So you know what I'm saying. Especially considering that the Switch was kind of a bridge gap between its console and PS4. So I want to see that bridge gap between what people said, right? It's funny, I'm laughing because AGN, right? Not to get off topic, but AGN said that the Switch 2 is stronger than the Series S, and Final Fantasy runs better on the Series S than it does on Switch 2. Yo, somebody better go tell AGN. I thought you said when Street Fighter 6 came out that the Switch 2 will always have the better version. The better version is on the Series S.
I'm laughing because it's like he said that. We need something like that because I know Bonanza was initially a Switch 1 game, but I could tell the reason why they didn't come out with Switch 1 was probably due to the frame rate because it even has frame rate problems on Switch 2. So that's probably what it was. They probably originally planned it for Switch 1, but we need to see, like, I think Bonanza's the only game that really put, well, obviously Cyberpunk and stuff, but like besides them that push the hardware. Yeah, I want to see, you know what I'm saying? And he says, Zimmy, so Switch 2 is between PS4 and Series. But I want to see that, though. You feel me? I haven't seen the game. I haven't seen, especially from Nintendo, I haven't seen it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That game was initially, you're right. You're absolutely right, Simmons. I want to see that. And I don't think it's that Nintendo can't do it. I don't know. Maybe Nintendo's just trying to milk up as much. Maybe they're trying to build up more hardware sales. Maybe there's got to be something for that. But that's the reason why I haven't bought a Switch 2. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if I was seeing the pimples on Mario's nose or something, I'd be like, damn, Mario got sweat. Like, imagine playing, yo, he said, you got me thinking, hold on. Yo, imagine if you play the Mario Tennis, and I know realism doesn't matter, and you see Mario sweating. Oh, imagine you can see globs of sweat. It's me, Mario. I got sweat coming down my booty. It's me, Mario. You can see sweat glands on Mario. Yo, we need to see this, bro. I'm sorry. I know y'all like, oh, come on, game. No, we need to see that. Because gaming is getting too realistic for Nintendo. We need to see the sweat glands on Mario's forehead when he hitting that racket. I want to see that. I know people's like, yo, come on. How would that improve the game? That would improve the game to me. Seeing the sweat glands on Princess Peach. I mean, yeah, I can only imagine the weirdos of Nintendo playing these games. Oh my God, look at that. Oh, yo, I think that's why Nintendo hasn't done it. They don't want people to be graphics creeps or something. I need to see Mario's booty in 4K. I need to see the bristles of his hair on his butt cheeks. You know? No, but it would be nice to see these features. Not like that, of course. I know we're just clowning. But like to see the sweat. Like, you know, Mario's hitting the tennis racket. It would kind of give that game the tension. Like, it will give that game the, you know, that hardcore feel to it. You know what I mean? Like, Mario's actually really working out there hitting his racket. That could be too. Yeah, Simmons. I think so too. Yeah, that would improve the game for me. Because I'll be like, oh, snap. Mario got... he got sweat glands coming down. You know what I'm saying? You guys like that? Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys like these little ideas because to me, I know people say it doesn't mean much, but it kind of does. Or like if he's playing tennis, Mario could kick up the dirt off the ground. Yo, we need to see. Nah. Yo, y'all like, damn, you should be making this game. I think I need to make games for Nintendo. Imagine. No, but let's check this out. If we're playing Mario Tennis Fever, right, I would have it, right, where if you're sprinting, you can see the dirt coming off Mario's foot or something like that. You see the dirt kick up trying to hit the racket. Yo, we need to see this, guys. Nintendo can do it. It's not that they can't do it. They just ain't thinking. Nintendo ain't thinking. That's what it is. Nintendo can do that, bro. Where the dirt can kick off the ground and all that, and you can see the dirt on Mario's shoes. Yo, come on, man. Y'all don't think that's cool? I would probably buy a Switch 2 if we were seeing stuff like that. If the Switch 2 was doing that, I'd buy one. I would buy it. Even though I don't want to pay $500. I would buy that. You know what I'm saying? I just get tired of looking at Switch 2 games that look like Switch 1. That's my problem. But I want to see that. I want to see the sweat glands. I want to see the immersion. I want to be like when Mario runs for that racket and he hits the tennis ball. You see the dirt gets on his shoes, maybe even on his clothes. Who knows? Whatever they could be creative about. You know what I'm saying? We got the power there. Why not utilize it? You get what I'm saying? Why not utilize it? It's not like the Switch don't got the power to do that. They got it. Yeah, they're lazy. I think that's what it is. They don't care no more, man. And that's what bothers me. Because I feel like old school Nintendo would have done that. Old school Nintendo? I mean, think about it. Look how much effects they put. Nintendo cheap. They don't want gamers. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right, Simmons. But you know what, though, Simmons? Old Nintendo did, though. Old Nintendo did. And that's what hurts my heart. Because you know what's crazy? Old Nintendo would have done it. I mean, look at games like Wave Race. They didn't have to worry about making them freaking waves like that.
They didn't. They're gonna be like, oh, it don't need the waves though. That's not a part. I mean, yeah, he's on that ski, whatever. But it don't matter though. But that's what made the game iconic. When you looked at the water, you're like, damn. And then you looked at the waves. I know people say, I mean, it's technically it's wave race. I would assume the waves would be good. But that's what made the game stand out though. That's why I love wave race. Mario Sweat Gland Edition. Like, you get what I'm saying? Old school Nintendo would have done it though. They would have. I can feel that old school Nintendo, but I think Nintendo's like, oh, we're just making good games. We don't need to do all that. You know what I'm saying? They need to get me working there, man. I'll be like, yo, man, nah, when Mario hits that tennis, we got to see the dirt kicking off his feet. Huh? Yeah, man, come on, Nintendo. You got power, man. Oh, we don't want our fans getting used to this. What are you talking about, man? We try to make a good, ambitious game. Immersive game here. We can't let our fans see this because if they do, they're going to want more. Oh, so you just make these lazy games and you just make these lazy fun games because you want your fans to keep buying this? Yeah. Oh, I see. And that's the problem. And that's not Nintendo either. That's PlayStation, that is Xbox, and that is Nintendo. They all doing it. They all freaking lazy, man. Because back in the... I hate to act like a Dreamcast guy, but back in the good old days, I'm playing a game called Dead Side. Yeah, exactly. Sega used to push Nintendo. I think that's probably what it was. Yeah, I think that's what it was. It does. That's what I'm saying, Zibby. Exactly. It helps it. It makes the game feel believable. It makes the game not feel like it's the same tennis game. Because even though this looks good, not saying that the Mario Fever don't look good, but then I look back and I look at all the other Mario Tennis games from 64 to GameCube, and I'm like, what is really changed besides features, right? It looks good. Not saying it's not bad. It doesn't look bad, but that immersive feeling would give that game that emphasis, like, oh, damn, Mario really running on this tennis court. Damn, Mario really going down. He got dirt on his shirt for hitting that ball. That will really enhance the gameplay for me. Because the problem is, I look at him like, damn, this ain't any better than Mario Power Tennis. This is like the same game. I feel like I'm buying this PS5. I feel like I'm playing the same game over again. With just features. And yeah, right now in television, yeah, Sega right now, especially after being bought by Sega Sammy, yeah, Sega can't do anything now. I'm so disappointed in Sega, man. I can't stand them no more. I love Sega, but right now, man, they're under Sega. Sammy? Sammy ruined that company, man. All they want to focus on pachinkos and Yakuza and Sonic. It's so sad. I mean, at least with SNK, at least they do arcade archives. I mean, they're not even doing that, and that's what pisses me off. No, definitely not. Yeah. So Sega really pushed gaming, man. You're right, Simmons. And you notice, ever since Sega's been gone, we haven't seen that level of quality. We haven't seen that level of immersion. And that's what's so sad. Sammy ruined Sega, man. And it's so hard. It hurts my heart because Sega, out of all the companies, I've told people, I don't care if they failed or not, Sega always, and I mean always, out of anybody, I would even say this over Xbox, has always pushed for immersion in games, man. Matter of fact, a lot of the stuff that we enjoy is from Sega, man. They pushed that. Y'all gotta remember when the Game Boy came out, they had even though the Game Gear failed, but you gotta remember the Game Gear came in 1990. The Game Boy came out in 1998, and the Game Gear power-wise was far better than the Game Boy. Leaps and beyond what the Game Boy could even achieve. Sega was ahead of the damn curve, man. And that's what I try to tell people. We always focus on their failures, but the only reason why they were failures because you know why? Sega took the initiative. I love the Game Gear as well. They took, yo, what's up, Kazilla? They took the initiative to try to bring the greatest evolution in gaming. If it wasn't for Sega, we would not see, Shenmue especially, we would not see the evolution. Oh, we're talking about Sega and Nintendo, Zilla. We wouldn't see the evolution of gaming the way we see it today. We just wouldn't. Even games like Phantasy Star Online, I mean, come on, people. Sega was the true kings of gaming. They were. They dominated arcades. It's sad because Sega made so many games that most people don't even know about. I'm telling you, man, Sega, they really made me love gaming, man. You know, Nintendo was right up there. Nintendo was right up, like right behind them. But Sega, in my heart, because I played a lot of Sega game, guys. And out of all the Sega and Nintendo games that I've played, Sega was the true winner when it came down to the games. Sega always pushed gaming to its limits. You know what I mean? Nintendo did too with the N64. Well, I think they had no other option but to, because the PlayStation 1 was kicking they behind. So they probably, I think when Nintendo was at a time of doubt, you know what I mean, Nintendo had to push. You know what I mean? But Sega was definitely the true innovators of gaming, man. Definitely true. I mean, to this day, man, it's just like, wow, if things was different, you know, I think Sega would have definitely took over what PlayStation has today. But unfortunately, the cards weren't played right. You know what I mean? So, I mean, think about it. I mean, Microsoft even went to Sega, so that shows you that, hey, man, like, they knew. But Sega did not have the money, though. That's the difference. Microsoft got money, right? Sega really didn't. Not in comparison to that behemoth, so... But I feel like if things was different, Sega would have definitely, I tell you this right now, man, we'd probably be seeing true innovations. But instead, they got bought out by Sammy, and now they left doing nothing but pachinko machines and the same Yakuzas. Think of Sega Channel. Yeah, Sega Channel. Yep, Sega Channel. Yep, where you can download the games online. I know. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. They were putting good games for everybody. Super Monkey Ball, Sonic Adventure games, Heroes, Virtual Fighter 4. I mean, you got to think about it. Tekken took inspiration from Virtual Fighter. Even the guys like, yo, without Virtual Fighter, there's no Tekken. Yo, you know what? Now, let's give some respect to Sega on this lovely Sunday. Let's give a lot of respect for Sega, right? Let's give a lot of respect for Sega because Sega, people have to realize though, Sonic, it's the same stuff now. I get tired of it. But if you really think about it, Sega pushed gaming in a way that we all can appreciate, in ways that we all see now, like what the guy said with Sega Channel. I mean, think about it. The Sega Nomad, taking Genesis games and playing them on the go, because that's the Sega Nomad. This is all before the PSP. This is all before what Nintendo even did with the Switch. Even the PSP. Sega Nomad, you could take home console Genesis games and play them on the go. 1990s, it had better colors, better visuals, better gameplay in a lot of games than the Game Boy. That came out in 98. The Game Gear came out in 1990. The only thing it had was a battery problem. But I mean, obviously I had a charger for mine, so I didn't really deal with that. I just had to plug it up. PSP was amazing. But all the ideas that we love, all the ideas that we cherish, all came from Sega. With the online gaming with consoles, right? I mean, damn. Sega was just ahead of the curve. Before Final Fantasy and EverQuest, we had Phantasy Star. That's a Sega game. Sega was pushing the envelope, man. They did. You know what I'm saying? QuickTime events, which we see in a lot of games now, even though some people hate them, they were pushing that heavy. QuickTime events, everything you see in a lot of modern games is all referenced and done by Sega at one point or another. So, Sega, I'm telling you, man, they were the kings of software, man. If only they had the pockets. If only they had the pockets. But unfortunately, you can't get everything. That's what they say in life. You can't get it everything. You know, but that definitely put Nintendo, I mean, Nintendo was the most revolutionary company that they were, because then they came back with, well, it was Rare. Rare saved Nintendo's behind with the 64. They did. Nintendo, Rare. I think if you take Rare away from the 64 is not as good as a console without it. Nintendo needs Rare during the 64. If they didn't have Jet Force Gemini, GoldenEye, Conker's Bad Fur Day, I don't think the 64 would be as great, or even Banjo-Kazooie. I don't think the 64 would have been as great as it was, because Rare put 64 on the map. It really did. Without Rare, I don't know if the 64 would even did as good as it did, because Rare put Nintendo on the map, man. It really did, man. Yeah, too many personal problems. Yeah, the Rare carried the 64, bro. Carried it. Matter of fact, Rare had some of the most ambitious games on that platform, man. Malcolm, don't say it, no! Oh, no, Malcolm, you already know Simmons. Oh, Simmons. Don't go too hard on fella, young fella. Nah, I actually like Diddy Kong Racing more too, but yo, wait till Simmons get a hold of that. Wait till he see that comment, bro. Yo, wait till he see that, bro. I like the. Oh, Dylan, no! Oh no! Yo, my man, cause Simmons likes Mario. I like both of them personally, but yeah, I'm a Diddy Kong guy, man. Diddy Kong was that game, man. That adventure mode, and then on top of that, you could play it in co-op. That, bro, I was like, yo, I've never. That's what I'm saying. That game, yo, listen, because we got to talk about the Nintendo evolutions too. You got to think about that, man. Even when GoldenEye came out, no game on PC had that level of animation that GoldenEye did. Games was copied. That was a 64 game. 64, as much as people clown it now for the frame rate, was a very, and I mean a very revolutionary console, man. The 64 was revolutionary as hell, bro. You gotta look at the library, man. The Diddy Kong Racing, and Sony took it with Crash Team Racing with the adventure mode. I mean, yeah, like, bro, Perfect Dark was good. Like, I mean, the 64, man, was, I mean, I look back, I'm like, damn, man, these games were so ambitious. And don't get me started on Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time. The 64, man, even though it had like not as many games as Saturn or PlayStation, but the games that they did had made you want one. Now that's one system I say you bought that for the exclusives. You did. 64, even though I did like some of the third party on there. You bought a 64 for exclusive. Oh yeah, that's her favorite. I think that's Catzilla's favorite console. I think she told me, right? You bought the 64 for the exclusives. You bought it for the exclusives. That's one console I'll say that for the 64, at the time, it was for the exclusives. It really was. It really was. Oh, how Resident Evil 2 fit on it? Yeah, that was impressive, man. I was surprised how Conker's Bad Fur Day fit on a 64 megabyte cartridge. It did not need an expansion pack. The game didn't need it. I'm like, what the freak? You would think a game of that the Conker's Bad Fur Day was one of the best looking games. I think it is the best looking 64 game. The animations, I was like, what? Yo, they took off every little last juice out of that. That man sucked on that can Capri Sun until there was nothing at the bottom of that 64 juice. Yo, like, that game was freaking fire, bro. We don't get it like that no more, though. We don't get it like that. Not really anymore. I mean, I think we get good games, but like I said before, we don't really get things that just kind of make me go, wow. You know? Yeah, those games was wow. Yeah, Smash Bros. When it came out, that was very revolutionary. They never did. PlayStation was always third party to me. I like Blasto. I like a lot of games that PlayStation made themselves. But let's keep it on it. Those games don't hold a candle to Castlevania. Those games don't hold a candle to Tekken. Those games don't hold a candle to Bushido. These are all third-party games, mind you, made by third-party people. PlayStation games, like exclusives from Sony, did not hold a candle to the third-party games that they had. Metal Gear Solid, it did not hold a candle. Okay? If you make a top 10 list of PlayStation 1 games, I guarantee none of them are made by PlayStation, besides maybe Gran Turismo. That's probably one. But other than that, nothing else. That's all it really was. PlayStation 1 was a third-party box. He said, true, not a single one except GT. You definitely ain't putting no Jumping Flash. You're definitely not putting none of these games over Final Fantasy 7, 8, or 9. I mean, PlayStation really was just a third-party box, man. Their games just happened to be exclusive because of Saturn and the 64 of their shortcomings. PS2 was a third-party box. That's why when Microsoft came in with the 360 and took the third party, Sony's like, uh-oh, we got to rely on ourselves. That's the reason why the PS3 almost failed. The PS3 almost failed because Sony had to rely on themselves. That's why they came up with their own online games and their own exclusives, because that was the first time in Sony's history where they have to focus on their own IPs. And we see how that worked for them. Microsoft focused on theirs. They had the Gears of War, the Halo 3s, right? Microsoft, and then the third party and the better ports too. I mean, damn, man. That 360 almost sent Sony to the graveyard. Sony lost a lot of money, even though they pulled out pretty good at the end. But Sony lost money with the PS3. That was by far Sony's worst console. I guarantee. I mean, to the gamers is good because Sony tried to make it a miracle. But in regards to Sony's financials, PS3 Sony wish they could delete, erase that console from the history. Sony wishes they could erase it. But luckily, their precious little Uncharted, their man swinging around on a rope helped them. That saved them. That man, Uncharted, saved them. Naughty Dog saved the PS3. It really did. Naughty Dog. If it wasn't for that damn Uncharted and that damn Last of Us, you know, I just don't get. I don't think it could save them now though. But back then, Naughty Dog saved Sony, man. They saved them during the PlayStation 1 with Crash Bandicoot. They saved them during the PS3 with Last of Us and Uncharted, and then Naughty Dog, I don't know if they're going to say PS5. Yeah, 360 would never be what it is. Like, we would never get that era. Ever. That era is long gone. Long gone. Long gone. Long gone. That was the good days, man. Yeah, they won't get the same hype. I remember playing Max Payne and Splinter Cell. Best versions, too. You might as well call them exclusive for Xbox, because the original Xbox of Splinter Cell, they were actually different, and they were actually the best versions of that game, too. Yeah, me too. I never cared about him either. Yeah, it wasn't too bad in the first one. The second one, I can't replay it. I tried to replay it the other day. I just deleted it. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know what? I think it was just Tomb Raider, the Tomb Raider game that people wanted that they never got. So that's probably why they liked it. Because you hear a lot of comparisons about Uncharted and Tomb Raider. You know? Yeah, Lost Odyssey. You know, Microsoft funded that game too. That's actually their property. Even though Square worked on the game, Microsoft owns that game. They own that. They actually own Lost Odyssey. One of the best JRPGs, still exclusive to Xbox. So that's why I was laughing when Gebs was like, "Oh, but I feel bad for the Xbox camp. The Xbox camp is looking real bad. You know, I just feel like I don't like it. You know, the 360 generation is one of the best generations of game. It's me, Gebs25, and yeah, it's not good. You know, I can play all these games. 99% of these games I can play on my PS5." And I'm like, what? I'm like, girl, you out here lying. What's she talking about? She out here lying, talking I can play 99% of. I'm like, yo, I can play 99% of those games on my Xbox. What is this woman talking about? Miss Third Party over here. Yeah. And the funny thing is, for all these people that claim, oh, the 360 was such the best generation, you can literally play these damn so-called Xbox 360 games. Ah, crap, he got me. I knew he was gonna do that. I knew he was literally gonna do that. Where'd I die at? Was it here?
Oh, right here, right here. Okay, can I spawn here?
Yeah, Blue Dragon. Yeah, they say, oh, well, you know, the 360 was the best generation, right? They tell people that. But yet, they don't like the Xbox Series X. Like, what? You don't like the fact that you can access your 360 games? Like, what are we doing, guys? Oh, yeah, the Series X is trash. It's trash? But you can literally play... Like, she says she has an original Xbox, a 360. Why would you sell your Series X? I feel like they just do it for views, man. Like, they say it's bad, bro. The Series X literally enhances the 360 games, bro. They claim that the 360 was the best generation for gaming. Bro, with that notion alone, that already makes it worth buying an Xbox. You hear all these ponies. Oh, yeah, you know, the Xbox 360 generation is the best. Then how come you don't want an Xbox? Oh, I don't need it, though. The Xbox Series X is the only platform where those games are backwards compat. You guys claim to love the Call of Duty 2, the 3s, and all these classic so-called 360 games. The Xbox Series X lets you play 360 games with enhancements, and you guys keep saying Xbox is trash. How you gonna say a system's trash, but then you claim the 360 generation to be the best generation? That literally makes no damn sense. Oh yeah, the Series X sucks, but the 360 generation, well, that's good. I can still play the well, not all of them. I can still play the 360 generation of games on my Series X. What? Yeah, you guys claim that the 360 is so damn good, and then when Microsoft gives it to you in a silver platter, oh, it still sucks. Bro, just admit you're being a damn hater. Just admit it. They don't even want to admit it. Yeah, that's the only one. Literally. If you're a Final Fantasy fan, Brian, exactly. They literally got all the... I think 11 is on there, though, bro. Oh, no, that's online. No, my bad. No, it's not on there. Yeah, 11. Yeah, that's the online. I forgot. That's the online one. I thought I was thinking about Zodiac Age. My bad. But yeah, I don't even think that's on modern platforms yet. They might even re-release that. But I'm saying to myself, bro, oh, the Series X is trash, though. 360 was better. Literally, can play 360 games on your Series X. Oh, the system still sucks. Like, what? How does it still suck? I could play King Kong. I mean, I wish... Microsoft needs to get back to that, because that was the one thing that I loved about the Xbox series. Or I should say the one leading into the series was those backwards compat games. I loved the backwards compat. I want that back. So when Microsoft told me it's over, I heard they might be bringing it back, though. When they told me it was over, I was kind of hurt. Because I was like, yo, I actually loved Xbox because of that. There was that one time you could only play all these games. I mean, think about it. Before Sonic Generations got remastered, you know what? I'm going to say this, right? When it comes down to the franchises, Microsoft got it. All the Sonic games are available on what? Xbox. Let's go. No. They want to talk crap? No. Ponies, even Nintendo fans, they want to talk crap? Listen, man, we got Sonic Adventure 1. We got Sonic Adventure 2. We need Sonic Heroes. I'm surprised Sega hasn't remastered that game. Sonic Heroes would be amazing. I don't know why they haven't did a remake of that or a remaster, whatever the hell they want to do with it. Sonic Heroes, I want that. But I'm saying, when it comes down to genres, we got more of the genres of our beloved games. Like dude said, Brian, we got more Final Fantasies than y'all. Y'all ain't got, you know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't got Lost Odyssey. Y'all ain't got Blue Dragon. Y'all ain't got all the RPGs and then some of what Xbox is getting. It's all about what Xbox don't have, but they don't want to worry about the games that Xbox do have that they don't got. We got all the Dead Risings. Dead Rising 3, not available on PlayStation. All they want to do, oh, we got one Forza. We don't need an Xbox. We got Forza 5 and 6. Okay, what about all the other Forza games? You don't have them. You don't have them. Right now, you don't have all the Halos. You don't even have a Halo with multiplayer. Like, you get what I'm saying? I'm not saying Microsoft is not going to expand, but they keep saying, well, I don't need an Xbox. I don't need this. I don't need it. Oh, what do you mean if you don't need an Xbox? You don't even have all the Fables. Yeah, you're getting... Do you have Fable 1 Anniversary? Do you have Fable 2? Do you have Fable 3? Do you have those games right now? You don't. You don't have Crackdown 1, 2, and 3. Like I said, Microsoft is the kings of the genres. They got all the games within the genres. Games that are not available on PlayStation. But yet, nobody uses that as an argument against PS5. They only use it as an argument to Xbox when they're missing a game or two. Or maybe 4 or 5, or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? All I know is if I'm a Sega fan and I like Sonic, and they're telling me that we get Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, and we got Unleashed, and we got Generations, right? Then I'm going to tell you that the Xbox is better. The only thing we're missing is Lost Worlds. So Sega would have to bring that back. I'm surprised that game hasn't came back. Sonic Lost Worlds. That's what I'm saying, man. Sega ain't even making games, like remastering the games that they had. They brought back Colors. They did bring back Colors, but they didn't do Lost World. They didn't do Lost World, and they can keep Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. I have that crap. That's trash. They can keep that. They can literally keep that. But that's what I'm saying, man. Like, yeah, Steam got them too, though. I think they still have them. Yep. That's what I'm saying, man. So if I'm a Sonic fan, I'm gonna want where all the Sonic games are at. At one time, Ninja Gaiden was all available on Xbox with the 1, 2, 3. Now they have the Master. But you know what though? Nah. We the king of Ninja Gaiden 2 on Xbox. We got the classic Ninja Gaiden 2. Yo, no. Let's put some respect on Xbox. Oh, they got it on PC? It really is it? Okay, but let's put some respect on Xbox again, right? Yeah, they got Ninja. Well, they got what? Oh, they don't even have Sigma. Ninja Gaiden 1, 2, 3 from the 360, plus Master Collection, plus Ninja Gaiden 2 Black through Game Pass, and we got the best Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden 2 is far better on the 360, exclusive to Xbox. Oh yeah, we gonna throw it. We throwing him. I don't give a damn. Oh, but we got it too. No. You ain't got this version though. Nah. This is the best one. What you mean though? What you talking about? We got Ninja Gaiden 2 Master Collect. No. You ain't got Ninja Gaiden 2 360 version though. And it's 4K, and it's enhanced, and it's the best version of the game. Matter of fact, no, we gonna body him. We're gonna body them right now. So if you're a Ninja Gaiden fan, you're gonna want to play it on the Xbox. Black did it. Yeah, it did it. Nah, it didn't. Black is good, but nah, definitely not. But matter of fact, since you brought up Black, right? We got the best Ninja Gaiden 1. Oh, we got that too. We got it too, though, on PlayStation. Oh, do you really? Master Collection? Really? Bro, we got Ninja Gaiden Black from the original Xbox. That is the best version, and it's 4K enhanced. That is the best version of Ninja Gaiden. Oh, but we got it too. We got Master Collect. Bro, Ninja Gaiden Black. So that means that Xbox has the best version of Ninja Gaiden, which is Black, and Ninja Gaiden 2 from the 360. Those are the two best versions, and they're enhanced. So if you're a Ninja Gaiden fan, you're going to want those as well. Y'all don't got them. They don't got them, fellas. They don't have them. They got like the Sigma one on Master Collection, which is tolerable because I have it on my Switch, but Ninja Gaiden Black is the best one. Ninja Gaiden 2 360 is the best one. You don't have it. Matter of fact, no, let's go deeper. We're gonna really pull this Band-Aid. We got the best Ninja Gaiden 3 as well. You're like, what? What you mean? It's the same as Master Collection. It is in some cases, but we got the one with online. We got the one with online. They don't got Ninja Gaiden 3 with online. We got Ninja Gaiden 3 with online where you can do co-op trials. And you can play competitively with each other. It's done. Wrap it up. Wrap your PlayStation up. And I'm just trolling. Wrap that PS5 up. They want to sit there and talk about how, oh, PlayStation 5 better. I don't need it. You sure? Because I'm a big fan of Ninja Gaiden. And I need my Black and I need my original too. And I need my Ninja Gaiden 3 to have online in case my boys want to play it. So I don't know what you're saying. So you keep saying, oh, well, we don't need an Xbox. We got Halo campaign. Listen, brother, I need my Halos with online. I don't know about you, But I need my PvP in Halo, bruh. They blinded Tribal Facts. Because if you really look at it from the games, they don't. Oh, you know what? Nah, let's kill. Yo, hold on, because I know my stream's about to start up soon. Let's kill him. We're gonna kill him with the rest of these 2 minutes. Let's kill him. Y'all ready for this? They're done. They're done. I'm gonna show you. Right? So not just the Halo. What's the other game? Damn, I was just thinking about it. I might have forgot. I might have got a little too excited. There's another game. There's another game too. Not the Sonic ones. They got that too. Damn, what is it? Oh, I literally forgot it. I got a little too excited. There's another franchise that they have most versions on Xbox and the best versions on Xbox. I literally forgot. I literally just forgot. Like, I'll probably bring it up in my next video or my next live stream. I can't believe I forgot this. Oh, with the Halo, I play with those online. Damn, what was the other? I literally had that. I literally had it and I just forgot it. Oh my goodness. Yo, what's up, Tro? Yeah, let me see. The stream's gonna be starting up, so I'm gonna end this soon. I'm just doing it for the last minute. Damn, I forgot the game, man. It's only not just the Gears of Wars, not just those. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, I literally forgot. It's probably through the backwards compatibility list, and I literally just forgot. Oh, they don't got Left 4 Dead 1. They didn't got Left 4 Dead 2. All they got is Back 4 Blood. We got Left 4 Dead 1, 2, and Back 4 Blood. Let's go. They want to sit there and talk about how Xbox got no games, but yet I'm mentioning games that are not even available on their platform, that they don't even have access to. Backwards compatibility is a saving grace for Xbox, man. Telling you. They want to talk about Xbox missing out. Well, you missing out on thousands of Xbox games that ain't on your crap right now. Talk about, oh yeah, I remember the good old days of the 360. Well, understand you missing out on a lot of these 360 games. Y'all ain't got Call of Duty 2. Y'all ain't got Call of Duty 3. You ain't got World at War. You ain't got MW2 with no online. You ain't got Black Ops 1. You ain't got Black Ops 2 on PlayStation. If you want to play Call of Duty, Xbox is the best place to play Call of Duty. Let's go. That's the argument they want to use. Oh, we don't need everybody. Oh, really? Do you have Call of Duty 2? Do you have Call of Duty 3? Do you have, they have Modern Warfare, the remaster. Do you have the original MW2 with online? Do you have Black Ops 1 with online? Do you have Black Ops 2 with online? You don't. No, we know that. We know. I'm just saying games that are not on PlayStation, Skate. That's my whole argument. I'm sorry. They don't have Fable 2 or 3. That's what I'm saying. But they bragging. We're going to have to continue this the next stream, guys. All right. I'm going to see y'all in the next one. All right. Make sure you guys, my stream is going up now. So I'll see y'all there. I'll probably leave a comment or so. Okay. We'll talk about this later for sure. All right. Peace out, everybody.